passive house principles, and how does this affect balcony design? If these are your questions, we're going to answer now. Passive house is about three things: energy efficiency, comfort for residents, and affordability. Firstly, energy efficiency. What does that mean for balcony design? So passive house has a lot of guidance around thermal insulation and about thermal bridging. The reason these are important is that retaining energy within the building is one of the key principles. And with balconies, that is about two things. Firstly, it's about the surface area where the balconies are joining to the building, because obviously the bigger the surface area, the more energy that's going to be lost, and the efficiency of the way that's connected. So with balconies, reducing the number of penetrations is one of the key things which can make a difference and improve the performance of a building, especially a passive house one. With thermal bridging, there are certain requirements which passive house also stipulate, one of which is stainless steel in the thermal break. Stainless steel has about half the thermal conductivity of steel, and that's why that's one of the requirements there. But making sure that those thermal principles, where you've got cold bridging which could occur, where you've got the penetration of the facade, is one of the key things which you need to design out. The second one is about reducing the number of anchors you've got going back into the building. So with a concrete slab, you'd have to isolate that all the way, or if it was unisolated, for example in North America, that would be bleeding heat all the way across. With a metal balcony, it enables you to connect with very small connections back into the building, and certainly with lightweight aluminum solutions also enables you to be able to produce something which will have very minimal amount of contact area. That's all about reducing the thermal heat loss. By doing this, it means that less energy is being lost from the building, and we know with the energy prices over recent years having gone up considerably, that means the performance of the building is much better. There are even solutions which can enable you to connect entirely to the outside wall panel. For example, if you've got a precast wall panel connecting on the outside, which means there's no thermal break at all. And these same principles also mean that not only are you making it more affordable for the end user, but you're also reducing the amount of carbon during the occupation of the building. Comfort, often to do with balconies, will relate to the ventilation of the building, and certainly the way the balconies deal with wind, particularly in exposed locations. Dealing with wind and moving it around the outside of the balcony, or by providing a more solid barrier, or by using specialist solutions which direct the wind or funnel it, is one of the approaches you're seeing. Taking wind across the doorway and providing ventilation and other forms are all different options, very, very dependent normally on the location and the specifics of that building. So from a balcony point of view, to achieve good passive house performance, reducing the number of thermal breaks is one of the first key steps. The second one is about improving the performance of those thermal breaks, for example using stainless steel and using a better anchor system. The third and final piece is about the comfort of the building. So reducing wind and the effects of wind is one of the areas where balconies can make a difference, but so can solar shading and so on. Certainly look at it by a project basis, because a lot of these are very specific to the nature of the building. However, as a rule of thumb, focus on the thermal penetration, focus on the quantity and the size of those.